Hear ye, this is Lord Potato. And this is What If Boruto Was Neglected, Part 2. Yes, this is Part 2 because I have seen a lot of comments saying Part 2. When the fuck is it gonna come? It's been 2 weeks, I know. Not doing a recap, even if it's 2 weeks. If it has become 1 month, I would have done a recap. But no, I'm going to do this What If, okay? But let me begin. Also, I'm going to be doing the virtual What If, the one for Boruto. Reason why? It's because, well, I have an idea in why the reason Boruto went in back into time. But other than that, you must have to find out later. But other than that, let me begin, right? I don't know why I'm that excited. But not the point. Let's begin into the What If. Into this What If, okay? No recaps. Also, I forgot to mention, subscribe to my center, iconic What If, Obito What Ifs. Links will be in the description, but yeah. Now, let me begin. Okay? So yeah. Sorry if I keep burping, but yeah. So let's begin. So we go into Boruto. Boruto's right now just kind of like in a abandoned building site. Boruto's kind of sleeping there because, well, he has nowhere else to sleep. He is basically just not caring that much. He's back in the Leaf Village for a couple of reasons. One reason is to, well, help it get destroyed. From the fact that his parents neglect him and a lot of things made him really depressed. But now he just doesn't give a shit that much. He has the power to really destroy anyone. But yeah. But he's trying to look for a reason, and why not to destroy the Leaf Village, or destroy not many people in the Leaf Village. He does have the power to destroy it, he's just looking for a reason. If there's no reason in the Leaf Village, he would just destroy it in an instant. He has the power for it. But of course, we're Boruto. So I should mention how Boruto looks like. I mentioned that he was 6'1" feet. Yes, he is tall as fuck. For only being 12 years old, he is tall. Or, no, not 6'1". He is 5'7", so yeah, he's tall. He's still tall. But of course, Boruto, he's actually lean. He's kind of like lean, like his body structure is kind of thin and lean like Gojo. So yeah, he looks like if Gojo had blonde hair instead of white hair. But yeah, Boruto does have blonde hair. Of course, Boruto has 2 white diamonds in 2 of his palms. Now, these 2 palms actually kind of show to kind of be like some kind of seal power schedule or whatever, not schedule, seal power inside it. Pretty much, it just looks like the design from the Karma seal. Now, of course, he has those in his hand. He can absorb chakra or send it back towards the person. But yeah, it's like if he had 2 diamonds instead of just 1 in his hand, like that one Genkai one. Is it 2 diamonds in 1 palm, or was it 2 diamonds in 2 palms? I can't remember, but it was somewhere around there. But yeah, but of course, Boruto has 2 white diamonds. Of course, his Jogan eye is the one eye that he kind of has, kind of just open, while his other eye that's purely white is closed. Now, of course, he is not showing his purely white eye just yet. His Jogan, where he can activate the Jogan, he has it not activated, but just showing his crystallized blue eye. But yeah, of course, where Boruto, he also kind of doesn't wear like something in the original canon. He wears like the pink, the black pants or the black sandals or the white t-shirt. He does wear, pitch black clothing. So he does wear a pitch black pants, pitch black kind of jacket. Of course, the shirt that he wears is kind of just dark blue, but yeah, he kind of just took dark blue for it. His hair is still kind of blondish, but I should mention one thing. In his right eye, because yes, it was the right eye that he has, a pure white eye kind of closed another. On that side, his eyebrow turned white, and of course his hair is looking like it's turning white also. So of course, anywhere around his eye is kind of turning white, so any of his hair. So of course, kind of on the side of his head near the right eye is turning white. Anything in the left side is keeping to be yellow. But yeah, of course, well, Boruto, he is, well, just like that. But yeah, also he does have dark blue sandals. But yeah, let me just say dark blue, or not dark blue, dark red, like crimson red, a little bit like crimson red, but a little bit more darker. So yeah, he has that kind of sandal. So of course, this is where Boruto, he is kind of getting out of the abandoned building because he only crashed there to kind of sleep for a while. But yeah, he kind of doesn't need sleep that much, but he does take a few naps once in a while because he either is bored or he just doesn't have anything to do that much. Which, I mean, bored and nothing to do is kind of the same thing, but yeah. So of course, this is where, well, he gets out of the abandoned building. He sees that it's bright out right now. It's sunny. Of course, he puts on his black jacket and puts on a mask that he actually kind of got before going into this building. A Shinigami mask that he managed to go to a blacksmith. Now, this blacksmith didn't really ask any questions about what Boruto looks like or how the size it would be. But the size, Boruto gave him the size. But this is where he didn't ask for the ID or anything like that. And of course, made Boruto the mask. Of course, Boruto also has to somehow dye his hair from blondish to some other color. He doesn't care what color it is, just something that isn't bright fucking yellow. But yeah, this is where, well, Boruto's thinking of either dyeing it dark navy blue, dark crimson red, or dark just black. So yeah, he's thinking of dyeing it somewhere on some of those colors. But of course, he doesn't have enough money. He only bought the Shinigami mask. But of course, he wears that. Now, of course, this is where Boruto, he is kind of just running. Well, not running. Mostly like walking through the village, but yeah. This is where he sees so many people just outside the village. Well, not outside the village. Inside, but right now it's just outside their houses, just walking around. Kind of selling fruit, selling this, selling that. This is where Boruto noticed two people that he hasn't seen for 1 year. Well, 2 years exactly, but yeah. This is where, well, the two people he saw was one with a pineapple hairstyle and the other having kind of blondish hair and kind of dullish green eyes. This is where the other boy had pineapple hairstyle and yes, and black eyes. Or not black eyes, green eyes. This is where one had a green coat and the other one had like, looked like size clothing mostly, but yeah. So yeah, the blonde kid was named Inujin and the other kid was named Shikadai. Of course they're walking. They walked past Boruto and Boruto didn't say anything. He just looked at them. This is where Inujin had the instant that someone was watching him, and when he turns around, he didn't see anyone. This is where Boruto is, he turned around really fast and kind of went to kind of walk forward. Inujin was confused. This is where Shikadai says, "Are you okay, Inujin?" Inujin says, "Yeah, I'm confused. Someone was looking at us." This is where Shikadai says, "It might have been just someone accidentally glancing at us." This is where Shikadai says, "It's such a drag. Maybe because we're such strong families, you know, from our clans." This is where Inujin says, "No, it wasn't like that. It was like if the person glanced at us or looked at us familiar or something. I can't tell I can't really get why." This is where Shikadai says, "Maybe someone from our school saw us or something." Inujin says, "You're probably right. Let's just go." This is where Shikadai and Shikadai and Inujin kind of left, and this is where Boruto keeps walking forward. This is where Boruto, he keeps walking around, looking around, seeing some people selling this, that, or that. This is where Boruto, he doesn't really care about buying stuff. He does have money from stealing people because, well, not stealing people, stealing people's money from their kind of pockets, but yeah. And giving back their wallets, but they're keeping the money. This is where, well, he passed by an old lady. This old lady was kind of like selling some fruit. And these fruit was kind of rotten, some of them. Now, I say some of them lightly. Because when Boruto turned around to look at the fruits, he noticed one thing. His Jogan activated, and of course, since he still has his, jacket hood on top of his head, the old lady or no one actually saw his Jogan being activated. But when he looked at these special types of fruit that he just saw, they weren't any normal rotten fruit or any normal type of fruit, but special. They have different patterns. One was kind of bluish and one was bluish, like a lightish kind of bluish color, and of course had like these patterns to have like lightning bolt in it, and of course it were the top of the like a stem and all that. The stem of the fruit was dark blue, and of course it looked like to be a lightning pattern, like a lightning T pattern. But yeah, that's where Boruto turns around to kind of grab this fruit, and he noticed what his Shogun what it is, or what he kind of heard from H. Bryan. Well, not H. Bryan exactly. H. Bryan told him about different universes. Different universes like the One Piece, Jujutsu, this, and that, and other things. So, of course, Boruto looked at this and kind of realized that H. Bryan must have been talking to One Piece. Different devil fruits that allow you to, when you eat them, allow you to get a special type of ability. Either element or non-element, but yeah, human element, mostly human-made element or something like that, or other things. This is where Boruto looked at it and says, "Interesting." This is where the old lady says that fruit will be 20, not 20. Like it's cheap. It's like real cheap because she's old and she doesn't have much to sell. But yeah, it was like dirt cheap. It was just that cheap. She says that much. This is where Boruto looks at another one. He saw this one being red, and of course it looked like it was melting that much. It looked like it was just crimson red, but it looked like it was melting. And the top had the stem to be kind of like a orangey color. But yeah. So Boruto says, "What about this one?" That's where the old lady says, "If you get 3, I will make it more cheap." Like she says, this much, like two yen. This is where Boruto, he says, "Interesting." He looks at another fruit that he caught his eyes because he was looking through all the rotten fruit just to buy another rotten fruit or whatever, and get the 2 special fruits he just saw. He saw the last devil fruit that he just noticed. A devil fruit. He's wondering how the devil fruit got here. He doesn't know exactly how, but he's not questioning it. He grabs the last fruit. Now this devil fruit is special because it looks to have like a bluish, like a lightish bluish flame color to it. Yes, a lightish, a lightish bluish tint of color. Now, of course, this is where, he looks at the stem and just kind of a bluish color. And this is where Boruto says, "I'll take these 3. That's where the old lady says, "That will be this much." This is where Boruto pulls out the money and gives it to her. And of course, this is where Boruto gave a little bit more than what the old lady kind of asked, but this is where Boruto left in an instant. This is where the old lady was confused, but of course decided to accept the money. Even though she tried to ask Boruto to stop, but this is where Boruto left. This is where Boruto is going. He disappears into the alleyway and trying to look for Sumire's, location. This is where, Boruto's saying, "Where is she? This is where he hears another, explosion and screaming, and this is where he gets a commotion. This is where, what he looks is like this kind of dark chakra around this figure attacking, a girl with kind of dark blue hair, bluish, lightish blue eyes like the 4 Hokage, whisker marks, and also, a kind of tan jacket and kind of pink skirt. This is where, she's jumping away, and of course Boruto notices this is Himawari. This is where, Boruto is seeing that the dark chakra figure is attacking Himawari. Now this is where Himawari is kind of dodging, and of course this is where she activates the Byakugan and says, "Gentle fist style, 16 palm strike." This is where she knocked out the kind of zombie figure and the zombie figure passes out. This is where Himari kind of gets praised by people that says that she's truly the not four Hokage, the fourth and even the seven Hokage's daughter, showing that she's definitely a prodigy and other things. So yeah, and this is where a boy kind of walks past, next to her, showing that this is Kawaki, the older brother of Hinawari. Now, of course, this is where some of them say that thank you for saving them, blah blah blah, because Kawaki was kind of saving civilians while Hinawari dealt with the problem. This is where people are praising them for being heroes and all that, for being heroes of a true hero of the war and all that, blah blah blah. Boruto's seeing this and disgusted. The reason why is because everyone is saying, yeah, the children of the Hokage, yeah, good job, woo, yeah. Boruto, he seems to kind of be disgusted. Ugh, heroes. Well, they won't be heroes much sooner or whatever. This is where Boruto says, heroes. The only hero that I think of being good is a dead hero. A dead hero will be always a good hero. Boruto smiles at him and chuckles to himself. But yeah, Boruto was about to leave until he saw, a shinobi kind of watching this. Now the shinobi was part of the Leaf Village and being a Jonin. Now Boruto, it wasn't one of the Jonins that you were thinking Boruto. No, this guy was just nameless. This is where Boruto, he appeared behind this person, grabbed him from the neck, and of course, this is where Boruto pulls out, he creates something from thin air, like a knife, and slit this man's throat. This is where Boruto disappeared after that. But yeah, this is where, Boruto only did that just to get rid of Jonin, so yeah. This is where, Boruto is looking around for the dark chakra and also to see where the dark chakra would go to. And this is where mostly he saw Sumire being kind of just sitting down, and of course she kind of got the dark chakra, and this is where she was about to leave until Boruto appeared out of nowhere and kind of pushed her down to the ground. This is where she widened her eyes and she said, but Boruto, what the hell are you doing? This is where Boruto says, oh, why can't I visit my favorite kind of person? This is where somebody says, you know you shouldn't attack me like that, okay? It seems oddly weird. This is where Boruto says, you can say it like that, pervert. This is where somebody goes, I'm not a pervert. This is where Boruto says, but that's not the point I was here for. Here. This is where somebody says, what the hell is this? A fruit? Boruto says, yeah? You wanna eat it? This is where somebody says, I don't trust it. Why does it have that weird texture and weird looking pattern? Oh, well, this is called a Logia type dough fruit. If I can remember right, this is called lightning no mi. This is where somebody goes, the fuck is a dough fruit? Oh, don't worry about it. I'll tell you much longer. Or do you want a lava one? Or do you want this Zoan type? This is where somebody says, I don't want any of them. This is where Boruto says, why not? This is where somebody says, my mission is here to take the dark chakra and explode into the Leaf Village. I'm not going to eat some weird devil fruit that might mess up my plans. Boruto says, but it will help you. Besides, I'm willing to help you also. This is where somebody says, fine, but I won't eat the devil fruit. This is where Boruto sighs and says, fine, I won't force you to eat the devil fruit. This is where, somebody says, fine. So, have you found any other people that might have emotions of hatred and all that? That's where Boruto says, oh, I see them all over the village. That's where somebody says, huh? What, you can't see that? That's where somebody goes, This is where, somebody says, of course I can't see that. If you can, what the hell? How can you see that with your normal bluish eyes? This is where she realized that she can't see Boruto's eyes. This is where Boruto says, oh, you might mistake me for having bluish eyes. Well, I do have bluish eyes, but they're dark blue. So, I wouldn't think you would really care that much. This is where somebody says, whatever, but how the hell can you see that? So Boruto says, how about this? I'll help you. Is there going to be a special event anytime soon? That's where somebody says, no, why? Well, yes, there's going to be a celebration about Hanawari and Kawaki's kind of birthday. Coming up soon, but yeah. Or not, well, yeah, birthday mostly, but yeah. Or not birthday, I would say. No, it's the birthday of the fourth Hokage. You know, this is where before she was able to say father, this is where she felt this killer intent, this murder intent. This is where she couldn't speak after that. Like the killer intent was so potent, so dark, so misery. This killer intent was kind of choking her before she can even say the last word. This is where, well, Boruto says, oops, sorry about that. This is where Boruto lets go of the killer intent, and I'm like, this is where Sumire was shocked. This is where she said, oh, what the hell, Boruto? You could have killed you? Oh, I didn't mean to kill you at all. This is where Boruto goes up to her and kind of caresses her cheek. And this is where Sumire goes, what the hell, Boruto? This is where Boruto says, sorry. What was the little event? Just tell me and don't say that bastard's my father anytime soon. This is where Sumire says, fine. Like I said, October the 10th is about to come in a couple of days. And of course, this is where they're going to celebrate the birthday of his. Very interesting. Very interesting. How many people would there be in this, well, village going to celebrate? A lot of people. Interesting. Yes, that will be perfect. This is where somebody says, what do you mean perfect? Well, you say that you need dark chakra, enough of it, so you can, well, make sure to make, well, you're summoning Nue. This is where she widened her eyes and she said, don't matter how I know that, but you're summoning Nue to become stronger. And I know the perfect way for it to become really strong and crush anyone that gets in your way. Don't you want your father's dream to come true? This is where Boruto's being more manipulated to Sumire. This is where Sumire says, well, yeah. This is where Boruto says, then I can help you. Come on, just grab my hand and I'll help you. This is where Sumire kind of doesn't trust Boruto that much, because seeing Boruto seems to give an odd feeling of trying to run away instead of like helping him or anything. This is where Boruto says, I'll help you and you help me, right? This is where Sumire kind of pulls out her hand, and this is where Boruto takes in an instant before she can even pull it away. This is where Boruto says, there, we made a deal, right? This is where Sumire says, yeah, I guess. This is where Boruto says, good. This is where he did kind of pull her closer anyway. This is where Sumire says, oh, Boruto, what I did. Boruto says, oh, well, I just wanted to know. Are you willing to, well, destroy this whole village? See it burn and see people die? For your goals? Boruto smiles. This is where Sumire cannot see the smile, but she feels like Boruto is smiling at her. This is where Sumire says, yeah, I guess. This is where Boruto smiles and says, then, when that day comes, October the 10th, I'll help you. Don't worry, I know how to help you. Just be on the tallest building there is, okay? Swear, somebody says, but what happened if it's guarded by... Don't worry, I'll take out the ninjas. This is where we go into about 4 days later. It is now October the 10th, and it's the middle of the night. Well, not middle of the night, still kind of like dawn. Of course, a bunch of celebration was happening. People are fireworks, boom, boom, boom. Other things are happening, but yeah. Sumire managed to get on top of the tallest building, even though there was ninjas, but they all got killed in an instant by Boruto. Boruto says, so, Sumire, do you want to do this plan now? Sumire says, yeah. Okay, well, put out your hands and focus them enough. Feel the dark chakra. This is where, well, Sumire does it. She starts feeling all the emotions and dark and hatred emotions. This is where Baruto, he grabbed her hands. This is where Sumire was confused. She became red a little bit, but this is where Baruto says, calm down. Just relax. This is where she does, and this is where Baruto's hands started glowing in a whitish color. This is where, well, Sumire felt this kind of power just rising up in her. And of course, this is where power of darkness exploded from her, the dark chakra, and started going into a bunch of people. In the celebration day, there's a lot of people out in the night. Some people are inside their buildings, but of course, dark chakra just goes through so many, hitting people where they kind of either lost a loved one or something to the Nine Tails attack a long time ago and still has that little hatred towards the Seven Hokage, or just has hatred to some people like neighbors, family, friends, and other things like that. Making them go in berserk. This is where when they go in berserk, their eyes go purely purple, like purely dark purple. But this is where when they go dark purple, a little bit of white pupil appears in the middle of their eye. This is where they're screaming in rage and attacking anyone they see. And of course, the reason, okay, if you want to know what their eye kind of looks like, think of Aizen. How Aizen, when he goes into the perfection mode, perfection mode, his eyes just become like purple and white. Let me show you, okay? So that's what they look like. Like the purple in their eyes just become fully, like the white becomes fully purple, and their eyes become white. So yeah. But of course that's happening, and of course so many people are attacking, and of course ninjas in the village has to kind of like get up and start fighting against these like zombie-like figures. Of course Sasuke is there kind of dealing with the problem. Naruto's doing the same. Hinawari and Kawaki's doing with the same. Kawaki does activate his curse mark and does kind of like attack the figures to kind of like stop them by kind of knocking them out, or like just impaling them by making them feel pain and then making them pass out. But yeah, Hinawari's kind of knocking them and pressure points to kind of make them be paralyzed. Of course, every time they get hit in the leg, so Hinawari kind of hits him in the leg, of course they will try to attack Hinawari with an arm. This is where Hinawari managed to block the attack and hit him or her in the kind of shoulder, just knocking their arms out and their legs, making them have to be paralyzed from, well, all four sides, so they'd be knocked out. Of course, some of them try to bite at Hinawari because, yeah, they're in this state to be, well, like zombie-like. So, of course, they have to, well, somehow stop this. This is where Sumire, she's feeling all this power, all this dark chakras going towards her. This is so much hatred. This is where Baruto also is just standing by and feeling all this power going into Sumire. This is where Boruto is feeling so much power. It's mostly a bunch of like hatred and other things are going into Sumire. Sumire, her hair becomes a dark purple. Her eyes become dark purple also. But this is where the white pupil does actually appear. This is where the white pupil, mostly the eye, and the black, instead of being black, it's actually kind of purple. This is where Sumire is confused, and of course the dark purple hair behind her is kind of like flying up because of the power. And this dark purple aura is appearing behind her. Well, not behind her, around her. This is where the seal behind her that was red turns into dark purple. And this is where Null in another dimension is just growing in size, becoming as big as the Jubi. Almost as big, not that big, but of course being bigger, a little bit bigger than the Nine Tails, but yeah. But of course with that happening, Boruto, he's like kind of closest to his white eye because he was having that activated. And of course Sumire did have her eyes closed, but this is where when she opened it, she like looks around and she can actually see pretty damn far. Her eyes evolve so much. Her power evolved. This is where, well, she's confused. She's so much stronger. She looks at Boruto, and Boruto just smiles, like a, not weakly smile, like a very strong smile, saying, so how do you feel? This is where somebody hugs him, just hugs him, because she can feel so much power, so much strength. Now, this is only through the Leaf Village, and not many people are in this Leaf Village because they want to go kind of celebrate with other villages, but yeah. This is where, well, Sumire says, I feel stronger. Boruto says, now that you're stronger, want to help me my plan? This is where somebody said, what do you mean? Isn't the plan just to destroy the village right now? No. Even if we dare attack the village right now, you realize that we won't survive. Actually, I will. Boruto thinks in his head, but this is where he says, you won't be able to survive, or I won't be able to survive against Sasuke, or Naruto Uzumaki. They are two very powerful ninjas. Even though we got this power, this power of strength, or most of you did. This is where, well, Boruto says, since you got this power of strength, we still won't be able to have a very powerful chance. So Boruto says, we will be leaving, okay? We need to leave right now. Since this dark chakra kind of spread, your normal chakra also did spread a little bit. But now your normal chakra became dark purple. I'll show you later how your chakra, you can see it. This is where Sumire was confused. This is where Sumire's hand got pulled by Boruto. And this is where they went into a dimension, a portal that Boruto made with his, not Byakugan, Jogan, to make a portal, like a vortex. And this is where they get in it. And this is where they go into a dimension that, Null is in. This is where Null, not Null, what's it called? The animal. I think it's called Null. Is it called Null? So Null was actually in this dimension. And of course, this is where, he roars. And of course, he is just bigger than his original self. So yeah, original canon. This is where all that power just stored up inside him. This is where Boruto, he kind of like looks behind. Let me say that again. Boruto knew about Sumire's little ceiling ray that she had in her back. When Boruto kind of, flooded up with hatred chakra and all that, he knew that Sumire would explode, making a giant destruction bomb. He knew that the seal was actually meant to kind of make her a weapon to explode. So, yeah. But of course, he kind of used his white pure eye to change it. To erase that explosion tag that was supposed to be filled up, so when the power filled up in Sumire, she would explode. But in this time, she didn't explode because Boruto erased that little part, and instead the power just increased her power and stats and everything. This is where, she is so much stronger. Now, of course, this is where, Boruto's saying, so, we're going to look for more people to, help us a little revenge, right? You did say you were going to help me when I helped you. This is where Sumire looks at him and says, I guess. Boruto smiles and says, good. Then let's go find people that we need to find. And this is where, Sumire says, okay. Okay, then let's go. So Boruto made another, portal to get out of this dimension. And of course, this is where Sumire looks at Noah and of course does kind of pet him, but yeah. And of course says that she will be back and all that. This is where Noah nodded, but yeah. Because Noah is very overprotective of Sumire, but yeah. This is where Boruto, they go into another place. And this time, most of them are hiding in, the Mist Village. This is where, they're hiding in the Mist Village because, yeah, they can. Now, after that little, that little thing happened about 4 weeks ago. Yes, it's been 4 weeks. And of course, the Leaf Village, some academy students came to the Mist Village. So, of course, this is where Sumire and Boruto will never discover about that little kind of event that happened 4 weeks ago from the, not for Hokage, the 7th Hokage's birthday. Now, of course, Naruto never knew what the hell happened. He didn't know what exactly happened. With Sasuke's ability and Rinnegan and other things from his Sharingan and Rinnegan, he tried to look for the, chakra. He found the dark chakra on top of a building, but he couldn't find the specific location and where they went. It looked like they just disappeared into thin air. It's like if they went into a dimension. But when Sasuke went into the dimensions, he can only go into similar to the Kage dimensions. He tried to look for other dimensions, but yeah. But of course, where Sasuke is doing that, but yeah. As where, Boruto and Sumire were actually talking to some people. Well, mostly a girl with sharp teeth and blondish hair and blue eyes. Of course, she had, well, she would have had the the Kiba blades later on. But this is where, well, Boruto actually managed to grab them. And actually managed to grab him from the place where all the seven of the mist weapons would be at. This is where, well, seven mist, or, let me say it again. The seven mist swords of the, mist village. Of course, he managed to kind of grab them before actually learning anything. And of course, give them to this person. She was very thankful, and of course, she decided to join Boruto and Sumire in this kind of quest and destroying anything. And kind of, well, she did also kind of ask if, Boruto's interested in becoming a Mizukage and making this place, its home to kind of make into the blood of Mist Village. Boruto says he wasn't interested. He was thinking of, instead of being blood, into the pure white void of the mist. This is where the female seems to be very interesting. But of course, this is where she decides to follow Boruto anyway. Of course, her comrades, her other friends, and even that guy that was the grandson of Kasame lookalike, kind of he didn't trust Boruto, but Boruto managed to make him submit into his will by Boruto sending his own corrosive bloodlust at him. Of course, this guy was peeing his pants and being scared of Boruto. Of course, the other, seven swordsmen kind of also bow down to Boruto. This is where Boruto says, "When I get you all your 7 swords, I want you all to follow me." This is where Boruto smiles at all of them. This is where Sumire even... Well, I have to go, so have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato. I know it's kind of out of nowhere, but I have to end it up. But yeah, bye.